You guys, welcome to the official debut of the Bagged and Bowed Gifts YouTube channel. This YouTube channel has been such a long time coming. As you guys know, my friend Niam called me out. But you know what? I am happy to be called out because I have been wanting to be a part of this basket community, share my story, share my experiences, and just keep having fun with this whole process with you guys. So thank y'all for being here, and yeah, let's have a good time. We're gonna start with building this beautiful chocolate vanilla basket. Because of this set that I got from Still Classy when she told us about this clearance at City Trends. So that's kind of been my inspiration for this whole basket. Pairing it with this dove, I love just putting together a nice monochromatic basket. All of these items just look so good together. I also found this at City Trends for $1. Cute headband and some matching barrettes. And I just think that color match is so pretty. Everything can be worn together. It's just so cute. I'm also gonna add in this loofah. We've got the body scrub and the body wash, so it's always good to add that in for the customer. I've also got this piece of cardboard that I'm going to use to create some shape and stability and some height for the gift. So you guys will see that in just a second. So right now, I don't have a ton of containers and vessels in my inventory and my stockpile. So I have been leaning on these boxes that I'm wrapping. And I think it really works for Christmas. It just looks like a wrapped Christmas gift. So I'm starting with that as my base. And then I'm moving on to building up some height for my gift. So I'm going to use that cardboard to create some shape with this scarf. And because we have a lot of space to take up, I'm going to use this paper and just gonna fluff up the scarf. Now, y'all know Niam and me are cool. We are friends. But I do venture off on my own and venture off in my own creativity. And I know Niam was looking at me like, what are you doing with this? All that's going to be sticking out on the side? Yes, it is. But see, once we get it built up, it's going to come forward and take up some of that space. It's going to give your other items something to lean against. And it's going to look nice. It's going to come together. See? Look at that. Now we've got some stability in the bag. Everything is nice and secure. We've, taken up like half of that box, and you're going to see as we build the gift, I'm going to close that in. So you're not going to see, all that brown tissue paper kind of sticking out the side. You're not going to see it. Next is just placing the items in there. You'll see me kind of test the security of everything along the way. There is nothing worse than getting a bunch of items, placed in the box and then a piece of tape breaks free and everything falls apart. So I like to give it a little bit of a check for security and make sure it's not going to go anywhere. And then next, I'm going to build up another piece of architecture in the back so that I can create another level to my gift and again get some more height. And don't worry, all of this is going to be covered up by shred at the end. We're going to use brown shred. All this brown paper is just going to fade into the background. Now we have a nice sturdy platform to add in our headband. And look at that. Isn't that just so nice? Getting some nice height and visibility on all the items. I am just going to cut this top part off. Nothing revolutionary here. I just think this looks just a little bit nicer. It looks a little less store-bought. And yeah, so we're going to take that off. And then yeah, everything is really going to start to come together pretty quickly. You guys saw in the beginning, I had another one of this exact same gift already made. The only difference is in that other gift, I had a scarf and a headband. And for this gift, I had the scarf and a beanie. And so originally I had the headband kind of draped across the front corner like I'm trying to do with this beanie, but it just was not working for me. I thought it was, and I was about to just tape it and run with it. But then I thought, hold on a second. Let me kind of backtrack. I feel like you can't really see the beanie. I'm not really getting the full effect or full impact of that. So I decided to kind of rework that and put the beanie in the back and the loofah in the front. So that's where I landed. And now we're going to move on to the finishing touches, which is shred. So while I continue to work on this, I'm just going to yap with you guys for a minute. So as you know, I did just complete my first full year of basketeering. And it's so crazy to say because when I started this whole thing, I would have never guessed that it was going to grow into this profitable side hustle, business, passion project. You would have told me a year and a half ago that I would be converting an entire bedroom to be my basket room. I would have just thought you were absolutely crazy. But here we are. And I'm looking forward to this coming basket season. You know, I always feel like it starts with Christmas. Like Christmas always feels like the beginning of the basket season. And I'm excited for this next season to just keep pushing the limit and see if I can beat out the numbers that I did last year. Does anybody else just love opening up a fresh set of cello bags? I just absolutely love it. Mainly because I know that once I finish that stack, I've made 50 gifts, and that's just so satisfying to me. I do use pull bows every now and then. I'll sometimes stack them on top of the Flora satin bows, or I'll save the pull bows for my smaller gifts. Okay, so back to the story of how I got started with baskets. Let me tell y'all what really made me finally pull the trigger and venture off into my own basket empire. Because at this point, I had been supporting Neum. I have helped sell baskets. I've been to remodels. I've been on late night FaceTimes. I've heard about baskets nonstop. And, I've seen it. I have seen Neum start with, a table full of gifts. And by the end of the day, we're breaking down with a pocket full of cash. And, it just did not occur to me that I would be able to replicate that entire situation, in my own area and for my own business. I wasn't sure about the work that it would take, the money it would cost. And so that part I was a little apprehensive about. But what really pushed me to go ahead and get into it was I had a need. I had a plumbing issue occur. It was like a $3,000 cost to fix. At the time, I just did not have it financially. I didn't have a savings. I didn't have an emergency fund. And I just didn't know what I was going to do. And I remember venting to Neum and just kind of talk and brainstorm and get some advice. Like, okay, what can I do? What should I, what kind of creative thing can I do to try to get this money and pay for this expense? And Neum said, I only know one way to make thousands of dollars in a weekend. And I was like, you know what? Now's the time. It was right before Mother's Day. It was about, I think, less than 30 days before Mother's Day. And I said, okay, I am going to do this. Okay, so boom, the clock starts. We are about 30 days out from Mother's Day. And I've got no items, no baskets, not a clue in the world. I barely have any money that I can invest into this because, mind you, I'm staring down this $3,000 plumbing bill. I don't have access to capital that I can just pump into starting a new business. And, whatever money I can put into it, I had to be very mindful that if for some reason I'm not able to sell or it just doesn't go as I planned, I needed it to be a low enough investment that I knew I could break even, or if I lost that I wasn't putting myself in, a more financially dire situation. So I started with just that. For that holiday, I said no more than 500. That's all I can swing. That's all I feel confident doing. That's all I feel comfortable doing. And I think at the very least, I can break even, or just, if I put 500, I think I can make 7 and walk away with $200 extra. And of course, Neum hooked me up. It would not have been possible without their support. They gifted me so much stuff that first season. I mean, loaded my car down, gave me pull bows, gave me ribbon, containers, just all kinds of stuff, and helped me get started. Because mind you, 30 days out, I missed the penny sales by now. I think I did have some Easter clearance that was kind of ending that I was able to kind of get in on right there at the last second. But again, I was starting from absolute zero to get ready for that holiday. And I just remember just cranking out gifts as much as I could. And when you're first starting out, everything is a learning curve. I mean, now I feel pretty good about how quickly I can make a basket. I mean, I'm still kind of slow probably compared to others. I probably take about 25 minutes. Sometimes if I'm like really hustling, I can shave that time down to like, I don't know, maybe 15, especially if I'm running them in a 6 or something. By the time I start working on that second or third variation, I really get my time down. But in the beginning, when you're first learning, I mean, oh my gosh, it just takes forever. But by the grace of God and good friendships, I did it. I got to that Mother's Day finish line, got out there with all my little baskets, and I sold every single gift I had. And I made that $3,000 and then some to pay for that plumbing bill. That's when I really started to believe, okay, maybe there is something here for me as well. Maybe I can kind of replicate this same success that Neum has had with this, because we already had the proof of concept. I had already been there firsthand with Neum, collecting 20s, 50s, hundreds, people buying multiple gifts at a time, return customers coming back from Christmas, coming to Valentine's Day, seeing these people at Easter. Like, I knew that this could work and that it could be profitable, and I had seen and supported my friend through this, but I just wasn't really sure I could do it as well until I did. Really, the rest is history from there. After that Mother's Day, I was fully committed to doing Mother's Day the following year. And then as each holiday came up, I said, no, I'm not doing Christmas. I don't need to do Christmas. I'm just going to do Mother's Day. And then at the last second, I said, okay, actually, I'm going to do Christmas. Then I wasn't going to do Valentine's Day. And then all of a sudden, I'm doing Valentine's Day. And then I said, no, I'm not going to do Easter. And then 3 weeks before Easter, I said, okay, fine, I'm going to do Easter. After Mother's Day, I said, I'm done with this season. I'm not going to do Father's Day. And of course, 2 weeks before, I decide, okay, I'm going to do Father's Day. So here I am now, full-blown basket room, 4 or 5 holidays under my belt, and ready to kick off year 2 of basketeering, going through the full cycle, being fully committed to the business. Now take a look at that big juicy bow. You can tell who my teacher was by the way that bow looks. Now, I do believe that we all have our own unique flair and touch to gifts. We all have our own unique style and the way that we visualize the items and what makes sense to us. But you can tell I'm definitely inspired by Neum's style with that bow. Oh my gosh, you guys, we are nearing the end of this video. We are nearing the end of my debut to YouTube. It sounds so cliche, but if you guys have made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you to my dear friend Niam for getting me wrapped up in this basket community. And shout out to my exclusive First 50 Sub Club. You guys are legendary to the channel. I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys on the next one.